Male behavioral health grew out of my history of working, I'd say, in the men's movement. The reality is mental health is something that men and boys are something that we don't talk about at all. Most men can go their entire lives and have no insight and no skills to be able to address some of the problems that they have. But I've been doing mental health for about the last 15 years, and it has been an amazing process of seeing men's lives changed, providing services for boys who oftentimes don't think that they have anything to say. So I'm a first-generation college student. Raised by my grandmother. What can I say? Dropped out of high school when I was 14 years old. People don't know that. Yeah. So the day I stopped drinking was also the day I dropped out of high school. And so part of my personal history, I think, is, only but through the grace of God, did I end up becoming what I think am today. And so when I went to Oberlin College, which was my kind of rebirth place, I was under the tutelage of brilliant feminists. And what I saw was the lives of women and girls who were my sisters being transformed by thinking seriously about big ideas. And I got really interested in that whole topic of, well, how could guys be interested in social justice? Dealing with underserved, marginalized communities without trying to, pathologize people and say that everybody that's poor is going to have problems. There doesn't end up being a reasonable question of what sort of things can you take into consideration to make their experiences better. Is that if we're talking about, the realities of race matters, for example, being the first fired and the last hired, poor educational outcomes and, incarceration and all these sort of things, to think that a person wouldn't, in young folks' language, feel some type of way, being exposed to that, is to almost suggest that we're kind of psychopaths. Right? Like, how could you not be continuously exposed to all this sort of stuff and then at some point and not perhaps have a sort of footing in your soul, in your spirit? So if really race matters, right, it shouldn't be a question of if, it should just be a question of when. The medical and the psychiatric fields historically have never been the best friends of people of color or marginalized people. Using the term clinical justice is really a very specific way in which we kind of talk about, reducing the stigma, right? The idea that our people and people in general are properly diagnosed, properly dispositioned, and properly treated. So my experience with the Columbus Urban League has been phenomenal. We're all kind of encouraged to do more with less. And the idea of bringing together, brilliance and Black excellence and commitment and all this sort of stuff, where we're all oftentimes working in silos, but very much, committed to doing the work, is an absolute sort of testimony. Whenever you think about men and mental health, I want people to think of male behavioral health and the Center for Men and Boys. Professionally, it is to be a part of a vision where men and boys are absolutely in partnership with women and girls around issues related to equity, diversity, inclusion, and social justice. My name is Jewel, and this is my empowering story.